Hello, this is Group 5 channel. Welcome to our video.
Nowadays, with increasing globalization, communication between people from different countries and cultural backgrounds has become particularly important. Intercultural communication, as a key area, promotes understanding and cooperation among different cultures, and is of great significance to the establishment of harmonious international relations and the promotion of global cooperation. With economic globalization and the development of digital technology, people communicate more and more frequently across national borders, and interaction and communication in different cultural contexts are increasing. However, cultural differences may lead to misunderstandings and conflicts, posing challenges to effective communication. Therefore, understanding and applying the principles and techniques of intercultural communication have become crucial to promoting intercultural understanding, enhancing the ability to cooperate internationally, and achieving success in a multicultural environment.
Now let's look at a case together.
And I put 15 minutes. Okay, so now we are doing like little pieces.
剁碎啊
Yes.
You mince it.
Yeah.
鸡蛋、大葱、苹果醋、芥末酱。我还挺期待的，我不知道这个会什么味儿哎。
你可以尝一点这个是什么味道？
But you can add if you want. 喜欢清淡，好喜欢。
就是我们家做饭就是基本上就是这样吃。对，
太棒了。
对
Is that okay?
那查理说真话不行，这个不能公关了，你一定要说真话。
就是呢，我突然吃到了一种从来没有吃到过的那个味道。鸡蛋还是那个蛋，但葱已经不是那个葱了。你尝尝。
我也不敢吃，但能吃吗？
绝对能吃，这是100%的。但是至于你吃到了什么，只有你自己知道。
哎呀，太可爱了。Let me try.
Is that
勇敢的
okay?
说出来。
I don't know. It's okay.
I think it's eatable.
Oh no, don't say that. It's horrible.
It's not terrible.
Oh yes, it's horrible.
Really?
I prefer, I don't like, but it's eatable. It's like polish, you know. That's okay.
This case demonstrated the collision of Chinese and French food cultures, as well as the differences in the communication styles of Chinese and French people, from which a very clear intercultural communication can be seen. Intercultural communication generally refers to interpersonal communication between individuals or groups who are affiliated with different cultural groups and have been socialized in different cultural environments. This includes such cultural differences as language, race, and physical or mental ability. The following will be refined to one of the intercultural points, high and low context, or categorize cultures into two broad types, high context and low context. Context features and communication styles among cultures are closely correlated with the cultural dimensions of individualism and collectivism. On the individualism and collectivism continuum, collectivist cultures, to varying degrees, emphasize the following traits: community, collaboration, shared interest, harmony, tradition, the public good, and maintaining faith. High context culture is characterized by pre-programmed information, that is, the receiver and in the setting, with only minimal information in the transmitted message. Most of the information is communicated through indirect communication. Implicit verbal messages, subtle non-verbal behaviors such as poses, the use of space, gestures, and avoidance of eye contact are frequently employed to convey ideas. Attention is paid to the relationship between individuals and the need to maintain harmony. This style of communication common in collectivist-oriented nations such as China, Japan, Mexico, South Korea, and Vietnam. As we can see from the case, when faced with food that is not actually to their liking, Chinese people use rich facial expressions and euphemisms to interpret their feelings in a subtle and implicit way, and do not choose to express their inner waves in direct language, the essential purpose of which is to perceive the relationship by not letting the other party who has produced the food feel sad and embarrassed. In contrast, individualistic cultures place more emphasis on personal rights and responsibilities, privacy, voicing one's opinion, freedom, innovation, and self-expression. In low-context cultures, explicit verbal messages are the norm. Therefore, a large amount of information is explicitly communicated through direct, specific, and literal expressions. To try to ensure that sent messages are interpreted as intended, speakers employ elaborate, direct, verbal modes of communication. Hall claims that low-contact communication styles are most common in more individualistic-oriented nations, such as Australia, Canada, Germany, French, the UK, and the US. In the case, the French girl wanted the Chinese girls to be able to say what they really feel about the food. She wanted to hear real and direct feedback, even if the feedback was not good, which in her opinion was better than applied expression just to prevent embarrassment.
The last theory that can be seen from this case is CAT, that is Communication Accommodation Theory, which posits that language may be used as an identity marker to either draw us closer or further apart from individuals with a different linguistic and cultural background. For example, those who possess different cultural and social identities from ourselves. It can be used to describe and explain why individuals modify their speech communication practices depending on who they are talking to. It can also explore the reason for and consequences arising from speakers converging toward and diverging away from each other. In this case, 3 Chinese and a Frenchman choose to communicate in English even though they have different native language backgrounds. This situation can be analyzed from the perspective of CAT, which mainly reflects in 3 aspects. The first one is convergence behavior. For people choosing to chat in a common language, namely English, is a typical convergence behavior. By using English, they try to reduce the communication barriers caused by language differences and enhance mutual understanding and communication efficiency. This behavior shows that they are both trying to adapt to each other, showing a willingness to establish a harmonious relationship and communication environment. Then the next one is social identity and cultural differences. In this scenario, language, as one of the markers of the identity, reflects different cultural and social backgrounds. By choosing to communicate in a second language, that is English, rather than a native language, everyone is to some extent reducing the significance of their own cultural background in order to promote cross-cultural exchanges. This choice may be based on awareness and respect for each other's cultural differences and the pursuit of effective communication. And the last one is communicative consequences. Such convergent behavior may have positive consequences, such as increased understanding, reduced prejudice, and positive cross-cultural relationships. By using English together, people from different cultural backgrounds can more easily share ideas, experience, and information, thus promoting mutual cultural understanding and acceptance. Taken together, this reality shows a typical application of convergent behavior in CAT. Then we will talk about 2 personal experiences. The first one is scenario reenactment. We will conduct it in the form of a dialogue. And the second one is a learning scenario happened in our daily life during our studies in Hong Kong. Okay, let's go to the first part, scenario reenactment. The background is 4 students from China who lived in Hong Kong were disturbed by the neighborhood's noise. And then what will happen? Let's go and listen to the dialogue.
Did you guys hear the neighbors having a party? It's so loud.
Yes, I was going to sleep, but I needed some peace and quiet.
Why are they partying again today? Well, this is a great way to have a fine time with friends. It seems to bother us. How about we, let's just forget about it.
I know what you are going to say. Children were disturbed, right? I think a thing like that might be a little awkward.
That's right. Actually, this is going to be very awkward. I started to think of a future scenario where we meet in the hallway one day if we do this.
Indeed, and I was worried about spoiling their evening and this happy atmosphere.
You guys are right. We hold back for a while. Hopefully they'll finish early today.
A few days later, one of the Chinese students talked about it in a conversation with her friend from the US.
Hey, how are you doing in Hong Kong? Is everything going well? Anything interesting?
Everything's pretty good. The teachers and classmates were friendly, and I made some new friends. I got to experience different cultures in Hong Kong and try the snacks here.
Great. How's the place you are living now? I remember months ago you were struggling with renting.
I like the house I'm renting now. It's very convenient. My roommates are nice too, except sometimes our neighbors have super fun weekends with friends. I seem to have seen this less often before, and by that I mean parties at home. Not that it's a bad way to celebrate, but it has to be said that sometimes we get interrupted.
I'm glad to know you are happy with where you stayed. Is your problem of being disturbed now resolved? Have you spoken to Len about your disturbance?
It hasn't actually been resolved yet. We haven't talked to them either, because we both thought it would be an awkward scenario to talk about it directly face to face.
But I think it is actually a pretty common thing. So why are you guys embarrassed? Actually, when I was a kid learning the violin, my neighbor came and told us that the sounds we were making was a bit noisy, but I had to admit that fact. So I wouldn't practice violin at night. We are still very friendly with our neighbors after this happened. Looking back on this, we can see that in high contact culture, maintaining relationships and social harmony is seen as very important, and people may avoid expressing dissatisfaction or criticism directly, so as not to harm other person's face or damage relationships. So these 4 Chinese students were afraid of communicating directly with their neighbor, fearing that doing so would make the relationship awkward, even if such communication was intended to solve the problem. In contrast, the Americans' response reflects the characteristic of a low-contact culture. In low-contact cultures, directness, clarity, and explicitness are highly valued in communication, and people are encouraged to express their ideas and needs directly. As a result, the American friends does not find it embarrassing to tell neighbors directly that they were being disturbed. It is a direct and effective way to solve the problem. From this scenario, we can see that the high-low context cultural theory can help us understand the different communication strategies and behaviors that people in different cultures may adapt in similar situations. Understanding these differences helps cross-cultural communication and enables us to better understand and respect the communication habits and preferences of people in different cultural contexts. Then let's turn to the learning scenario in daily life. We all know that there are students from different regions. When we communicate with students from different countries and when the teacher teaches, we choose to talk to each other in English. This reflects the communication accommodation theory as mentioned before.
So in this context, it has been found that intercultural communication skills are essential for effective interaction with people from different cultural backgrounds. These skills help bridge cultural differences, reduce misunderstandings, and foster positive relationships. Here are some tips for communication. The first point is to be culturally aware, gain an in-depth understanding of cultural differences, study and understanding different cultural norms, values, and customs. The second point is to be flexible in adjusting communication styles. Adjusting communication styles according to the audience's cultural background and preferences to ensure that messages are delivered more effectively and relevantly. The third point is to maintain empathy, patience, and an open mind. This includes being sympathetic to the feelings of people with different cultural backgrounds and trying to understand and share their perspectives. It also involves keeping an open mind, accepting and respecting cultural differences, and avoiding making premature judgments. In addition, it is important to recognize and challenge any preconceptions or prejudices you may have to ensure more honest and inclusive communication with others. The fourth point is to improve language skills. Actively learn basic greetings and phrases in the other person's language to show respect and sincerity. In communication, pay attention to spelling clearly and speaking moderately. Use simple and easy-to-understand language, and avoid complex idioms or slang to ensure that the other party can accurately understand what they mean. When encountering language barriers, remain patient and be willing to repeat or rephrase your point of view to ensure smooth communication and clarify the message. This can effectively improve the effectiveness and the quality of intercultural communication. If intercultural communication is ineffective, further in-depth understanding of the differences between high context and low context communicators is needed to adjust the communication styles. High context cultures emphasize implicit messages and nonverbal communication, while low context cultures focus more on direct expression and implicit language. Therefore, understanding and adapting to these different communication styles can improve the effectiveness and efficiency of intercultural communication. Low context communicators interacting with high context communicators should be emphasized nonverbal cues. Observing body language such as gestures, facial expressions, and posture can provide valuable insights as they often convey emotions and intentions more effectively than words alone. Additionally, pay attention to eye contact and be aware of cultural norms regarding eye contact. In some cultures, direct eye contact may be viewed as confrontational, while in others, eye contact implies attention and respect. By paying attention to these nonverbal cues and understanding their cultural significance, individuals can engage in intercultural interactions with greater sensitivity, and require appropriate acknowledgement that building a good relationship can contribute to effectiveness over time. Respect each other's cultural customs, traditions, and rituals. Take the time to build trust and rapport with people from different cultures. Participate actively in social and cultural events to deepen cultural understanding and build connections. Avoid being blunt when speaking. Use indirect language to express criticism or disagreement, or use stories, analogies, and metaphors to illustrate points indirectly. Respect rank and age in the communication process. In intercultural communication, listening to the other person with full attention is crucial. Showing interest and understanding enhances the effectiveness and the quality of communication. Avoiding interruptions and letting the speaker finish his or her thoughts before responding demonstrates respect and attention. In addition, by clarifying and paraphrasing the other person's ideas and restating what you have heard in your own words, you have ensured that both parties understand the same thing and avoid misunderstandings and communication barriers. These skills help to establish a good foundation for communication and facilitate smooth intercultural communication. However, high context communicators interacting with low context communicators should speak up, be to the point, and be aware that efficiency and effectiveness is achieved through focusing on tasks, and that direct questions and observations are not necessarily meant to offend but to clarify and advance shared goals. Focus on logic and reason, support your statements with facts and logical reasoning, maintain an objective tone, and focus on reason rather than emotion. Besides, respect each other's privacy, focus on tasks and facts, and share opinions when you have them. This is the end of our video. Thank you for watching.